Picture this. You're alone on a fog-drenched path, the moon barely piercing the gloom. Every rustle in the dark makes your pulse race. Then, out of nowhere, a sound splits the night, a wail so raw, so steeped in sorrow, it feels like the earth itself is weeping. Your breath catches. Your heart pounds. You know the stories, don't you? The ones told in hushed tones by candlelight. That wail, it's her. The Banshee. And her cry means death is near. Welcome, my brave seekers of the strange, to Eerie Tales with Cosette. I'm Cosette, your guide through the shadows of folklore and legend. Tonight, we cross the sea to Ireland's mist-shrouded hills, where a Celtic spirit waits in the darkness. This is the tale of the Banshee, the harbinger of doom, whose cry has chilled hearts for centuries. So, dim the lights, settle in, and let's step into the eerie unknown. As a Maltese woman, I'm no stranger to tales of spirits and curses woven into the fabric of our islands. But the Celtic world, with its deep magic and mystery, pulls me in just as strongly. Tonight, we're diving into one of Ireland's most haunting legends, the Banshee, or Banshee in Irish Gaelic, meaning woman of the fairy mound. She's no ordinary ghost. She's a messenger, a mourner, a figure tied to the soul of Ireland's ancient families. Who is she? What drives her to wail? And why does her cry spell doom? Let's unravel her story, thread by eerie thread. Imagine Ireland centuries ago, emerald hills, crumbling stone forts, and villages where the mortal and otherworldly worlds blur. The Banshee, they say, is no mere spectre but a being of the Ao's Sai, the fairy folk who dwell in a realm just beyond our own. She appears as a woman, sometimes young and radiant with flowing hair, sometimes old and haggard, her face carved with grief. Her eyes are red from endless weeping, and her voice, oh, her voice, is unforgettable. A keening wail that slices through the night, both beautiful and terrifying, like sorrow given form. The Banshee doesn't wail for everyone. Her cry is for certain ancient Irish families, clans like O'Brien, O'Connor, or Kavanagh, with roots deep in the old kings and chieftains. When one of their kin nears death, she appears, her lament a sign that the end is close. Some call her a guardian spirit, mourning her kin. Others whisper she's tied to ancient curses, her wail a mark of fate. Whatever she is, her presence means death is coming, and no one escapes her call. Let me share a tale from County Kerry, passed down from the 19th century but whispered long before. Sean O'Sullivan, a farmer from a proud old family, sat by the fire one stormy night with his wife, Bridget, and their young son, Liam. Rain battered their cottage, but it was another sound that froze Sean's blood, a piercing wail, rising and falling like a tide of grief. Bridget clutched Liam, her face ashen. "It's her," she whispered. "The Banshee." Sean tried to dismiss it as the wind, but he knew better. His father, old Thomas O'Sullivan, lay ill in the next room, his strength fading. The family had heard the tales. The Banshee had wailed for Sean's grandfather, and his great-uncle before him. Her cry always came before a death. Sean stayed awake, gripping his rosary, praying it was just a story. But at dawn, as the storm cleared, they found Thomas still, his face calm, as if he'd heard her call and followed her into the beyond. The Banshee's eeriness lies in how she binds the living to the dead, the present to the past. Some say she's the spirit of a woman lost to childbirth, forever mourning. Others link her to the Morrigan, the Celtic goddess of war and fate. In some tales, she's seen by a river, combing her long hair with a silver comb. A warning: if you find her comb, don't touch it, or you'll invite her wrath. In rare stories, she's not alone but joined by others, 3 or 4 spectral women, their keening blending into a chorus of doom, reserved for the death of someone great, a chieftain, a hero, or a beloved elder. The poet W.B. Yeats, who grew up on these tales, called her cry a sound that could break your heart and make you glad to die, all at once. I feel a kinship with these Celtic tales, stories of spirits tied to family and fate, much like the legends of my homeland. The Banshee's cry feels so personal, a private omen for those she chooses. It makes me wonder, have any of you heard an odd sound in the night, something you couldn't explain? A wail, a whisper, a sense that something was near? Share your stories in the comments, I'd love to hear them. The Banshee remains one of the Celtic world's most haunting figures, a reminder that death is never far, and the past still speaks through the mists of time. Her wail lingers in Ireland's hills, in its stories, and in the hearts of those who hear her. So, next time you're out on a quiet night, listen closely. If you hear a cry on the wind, say a prayer, and hope it's not for you. Thank you for joining me on this eerie journey, my friends. If the Banshee's wail has chilled your bones, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more tales from the shadows. Next time, we'll venture into another dark corner of folklore, where, I wonder? Leave your suggestions below. Until then, stay curious, stay brave, and keep listening for the whispers of the unknown.